The story of Moses, a journey of faith and freedom. A long time ago in the land of Egypt, the Israelites, God's chosen people, were suffering. They were slaves to Pharaoh, the mighty ruler of Egypt, forced to work day and night without rest. Their cries for help reached the heavens, and God had a plan to set them free. The baby in the basket. During this time, Pharaoh feared the growing number of Israelites and made a terrible order. Every Hebrew baby boy must be thrown into the Nile River. But one brave mother refused to let her son die. She placed her baby in a small basket and set it afloat on the river, trusting God to protect him. The basket drifted gently down the river until it was discovered by none other than Pharaoh's daughter, the princess. Filled with kindness, she lifted the baby from the water and said, "I will raise him as my own." She named him Moses, which means drawn from the water. Moses grows up. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's palace, living like a prince. But deep inside, he knew he was not an Egyptian. He was an Israelite. One day, he saw an Egyptian mistreating an Israelite slave. Anger filled his heart, and he struck the Egyptian. Fearing Pharaoh's punishment, Moses ran away to the desert. The burning bush, God's call in the desert. Moses became a shepherd, living a quiet life, until something amazing happened. One day, while watching over his sheep, he saw a bush on fire, but it was not burning up. Then a mighty voice called from the flames, "Moses, take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground." Moses trembled. It was God speaking. God said, "I have heard the cries of my people. I am sending you to Pharaoh. Tell him to let my people go." Moses was afraid. "But I am not strong enough," God reassured him. "I will be with you. I will give you the words to say. Let my people go." Moses returned to Egypt and stood before Pharaoh. He spoke boldly. "The Lord says, 'Let my people go.'" But Pharaoh refused. So God sent 10 powerful plagues upon Egypt. Water turned to blood, frogs covered the land, darkness fell over the country, and more. After the final plague, Pharaoh's own son died, and he could resist no longer. "Go, take your people and leave Egypt," he cried. The Red Sea Miracle. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, but Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army after them. The Israelites were trapped, the mighty Red Sea before them, and Pharaoh's chariots behind them. But God told Moses to lift his staff. And then, something incredible happened. The Red Sea parted, creating a dry path. The Israelites walked through safely, and when the Egyptian army followed, the waters crashed back, swallowing them up. The Israelites were free at last. The 10 Commandments. As they journeyed through the desert, God guided them by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. At Mount Sinai, Moses climbed the mountain, and God gave him the 10 Commandments, laws to help his people live with love and obedience. Moses led the Israelites toward the Promised Land, trusting God every step of the way. The lesson of Moses' story. God has a plan for each of us, even when we feel small or weak. Faith and courage can help us overcome any obstacle. God is always with us, guiding and protecting us. Like and share for more videos.